An amateur space explorer has been contacted by NASA after taking breathtaking footage of the Earth at a cost of just £500. Robert Harrison took this video using a digital camera mounted on a weather balloon. It reached heights of 35 kilometres or 22 miles above the Earth's surface. Mr. Harrison says NASA told him it would have cost them millions of pounds to capture the same images.
And 50 seconds.
Roger, Challenger. Everything looks great down here.
Correct. Okay. Go.
Roger, you're looking good here.
Ignition. Right away, Houston. Regs are good. Ag saw it. Pitch over.
Well, I'll be dead, sleeping in the back of Rich's Northside Lounge. And if you ever get to Houston, you look me down. And if you ever get to Houston, you look me down.
Yes, we play squash together.
Trying to hold.
I define they go around the earth, so they never fall down. Why? What do you mean, sir?
Freemasons run the country!
Boom shakalaka!
We'll hit on with the show. This is it.
Flat earthers drive him nuts.
Sherrod, Apollo 7.
Bean. Gordon, Apollo 12.
We had more to conquer than space.
I had a runny nose. And I had a stuffy head.
We used Actifed. How do you conquer cold symptoms? Actifed.
And the dude who jumped out of a perfectly good balloon, was it Felix? Felix Baumgartner.
On Earth's equator, if you live there, and down to the Arctic and Antarctic circles, right? You might remember those from high school geography or elementary school geography. At college. So if you go up to the Arctic Circle, right, it's so from due east, from due west, farther and farther away. And what happens when you hit the Arctic Circle and the Antarctic Circle, which, by the way, are 66.5 degrees north, 66.5 degrees south. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west did not live in the Arctic.
That's so
period.
Cool. That's like
the Inuits did not come up with that saying.
It's like
the Inuits did not come up with that saying.
Right.
And the Antarctic penguins would have never said this.
No, exactly right. Exactly. Yeah. It's like in Star
Comprehension. America must be filled with morons.
Hello, I'm Buzz Aldrin.
By comprehension, America must be filled with morons who... By comprehension, America must be filled with morons who...
But when you watch stuff like this, you miss it a little bit?
Oh yeah, I miss it a lot.
Comprehension, America must be filled with morons who...
Think the world was flat?
Huh?
Think the world was flat.
Huh? Huh?
Hey, want to listen to some tunes?
Huh?
I like turtles.
That stuff is flat.
For our guest performer, and today's guest is someone I know you're all going to enjoy.
The characteristic at any time. Well, thank you very much, Admiral Byrd.
Yeah, I'm in a cold, 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 I'm in a cold. the milk. But holy cow, I wear the sneaks. Tip of the beat, I'm a 33.
If you don't like what we tell you to believe in, we'll kill you.
I'm going like a dirt bike goes. Third eye rainbow swastika. Third eye rainbow swastika. Hit my pine cone like a dirt bike. Oh, wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Ouija, 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 Ouija board. Euthanasia, rich with the wild world. I make it be girl, flip me penguin, I ain't got the VIP cause I'm a 33. Don't forget the middle eight. 481. 7. A bunch of important numbers. 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 I'm not in a cult. 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 Yeah, I'm in a cult. 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 I'm in a cult.
Faking a shot of being halfway to the moon. And they refer to you on the tape as a shot that was done during Apollo 10, where you put a transparency over the window and moved the camera of the Earth and moved the camera back away from the window.
But I discovered that the people who love are what we need if we get up above it all. And that's that, unless the world is flat.
Silver and bright orange yellow.
People don't want to know what the truth is because they could never ever handle it. They would be too devastated.
Imagine space.
I still the portable telly.
Flat.
Indoor area. But it went on the blink a few months.
What did you think about Elon Musk's idea about nuking the poles of Mars in order to make it warmer?
Yeah, so some of these are kind of pie in the sky ideas,
right?
But let's get to what he's trying to get at. Yeah. What you want to do is you want to introduce warmth. You want to block the ozone. You want to block the ultraviolet, so that you can protect organic life. All right. So we have an ozone layer. It's the 3 oxygen atoms, O3, and ozone likes ultraviolet light. So ultraviolet light comes from the sun and gets eaten by ozone. Gets eaten. And when you do that, the ultraviolet light doesn't make it to Earth's surface. So even though they say, oh, wear sunscreen and sunblock 45, yes, that's for the 1% of the ultraviolet that gets through the atmosphere. If you're above the atmosphere, you are fried. You freeze the top surface of the lake. Well, how about the water below it? It's insulated from the dropping air temperature, and the fish don't die. Imagine if ice were denser than water. what would happen? You'd freeze the top layer, it would sink. The bottom is frozen. Freeze the next layer, it sinks. And fish would be systematically forced to swim in shallower and shallower waters until they were all freeze-dried on the top surface of the lake. And all fishes would be dead every winter in every lake.
I think it's fish.
What?
I think you're supposed to say fishes.
Fishes is a double plural.
You could do that?
Yeah. You never
all
heard
fish
fishes?
would be dead?
You never
like
heard?
all deer? Would you say all deers?
Well, because generally it's one. If you had multiple kinds of deer, yeah.
Oh, so if you had like Sitka deer,
Yeah, but
and
it's rare that they're all in the same place. You generally have one kind of deer in one place. But if the ocean has many kind of fish in the same place.
Oh,
yeah,
that's interesting. So you would say fishes.
And Biden's new thought cop in chief has been revealed. She's a 33-year-old, highly self-confident young woman called Nina Jankowicz.
Information laundering is really quite ferocious. It's when a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precocious by saying them in Congress or a mainstream outlet. So disinformation's origins are slightly less atrocious. It's how you hide a little lie. It's how you hide a little lie. It's how you hide a little lie when Rudy...
Okay, this film here is The Usual Suspects of 1995. And you'll see two birds, they fly into the World Trade Center. Okay, there they come. Two birds flying into the World Trade Center in the film The Usual Suspects of 1995. There they come. Did you see them?
3, 2, 1, ignition. 3, 2, 1, ignition. Right away, Houston. Vector good. Ag start.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. We don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again. Destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again. Destroyed that technology. Destroyed that technology. And it's a painful process to build it back again.
Listen.
But here's the deal.
Here's the deal.
But here's the deal.
So here's the deal.
And here's the deal.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal.
Because here's the deal.
Here's the deal. You either give me your ID or you go to jail. How about that?
Catch me outside. How about that?
How about that? How about that? Here's the deal.
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go wild.
I'm sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the web.
Number 322. You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us?
Not much, because it's a secret.
Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code?
I wish there were something secret I could manifest.
322, a secret number?
There are all kinds of secrets, Tim.
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
Tim Russert, the face of NBC's long-running Meet the Press, has died. NBC News says he had suffered an apparent heart attack. Tim Russert was 58 years old.
From this point of view, we see the meridians and parallels form two bundles of circles. All of the meridians converge at 2 points, the North and the South Pole. Do you recognise this one here? Yes, it's the Greenwich Meridian, the end of the first stage of our journey towards the fourth dimension.
person of one keeping a secret is perfect, right? Anybody
Nobody knows.
No one knows except for the person who knows.
Uh-huh.
When you get to 2, you're still pretty good. That's not. Then when you get to 3,
it's over.
It's going to get out.
Yeah, 3 is over.
And that's why when people are like, well, the Earth is flat, I'm like, who's keeping the secret? Because everybody finds out.
And the Earth is flat. We do know that for a fact.
Okay.
I just was on a flight the other day. It felt pretty flat to me, dude. Look out the window. Looked pretty flat to me.
This is why.
Pretty flat to me, bud.
Everything is fine. I mean, at amazing speeds.
You can tell it's real because it looks so fake, honestly.
To introduce the concept of free fall. So let's use this model of the Earth. And let's enlist the help of a friend, Patsy. You might know her.
Sorry, they ain't been on the moon. You don't think so? And they, Twitter users, did come for Curry.
Does this ring mean anything to you?
Freemason?
So powerful, such a smooth launch, and then arrival on board the International Space Station and adapting to this weightless environment and being able to go to the cupola. And practice makes perfect. Give me another week.
Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water.
All right. I think I'll have some water in this painting today. I love water. It's easy to paint. And we'll use that same old phthalo blue. Just add a little more onto the brush. Now, still water is always level. And I think today, let's have still water.
Everything is fine. I mean, at amazing speeds. Everything is fine. I mean, at amazing speed.
And sounds like you can't handle the truth.
This man's name is Michael Hughes, otherwise known as Mad Mike. This footage shows the last seconds of his life. Seeing this, a normal person would surely have a barrage of questions. What kind of strange rocket is that? Who in their right mind would use that to fly anywhere? What on earth is happening here? The answer may sound like a bad joke. Mad Mike didn't earn his moniker for no reason. At the age of 64, this self-taught pilot advocated for the theory that Earth is actually flat. He intended to prove it by ascending to a height of 1.5 kilometers in his homemade rocket. Mike constructed this steam-powered rocket in his backyard, spending about $18,000 on the project. This wasn't his first flight to prove the flat Earth theory. In March 2017, he managed to rise to a height of 570 meters in his homemade rocket, then deployed parachutes and had a rather rough landing. You've just seen the tragic outcome of the second attempt. Surely this only raises more questions. Why would Mike choose such a complicated method? What stopped him from simply buying a ticket for the next available flight? The cruel irony is that had he done so, Mad Mike would have been able to safely see through the airplane window that Earth is really flat. Wait, what? No, don't rush to close this video. We did say see through an airplane window, and that changes a lot. You'll discover the answer in this video. Now let's try to understand what drives people's indomitable belief in the flat Earth theory, so much that they're even willing to risk their lives for it. How can such medieval views exist in our spacefaring age? Or is there something to the flat Earth theory after all? Is the Earth really flat?
In case you didn't know, we have a lot of junk floating around Earth.
The International Space Station is a national orbiting laboratory. Questions to ask. Known knowns, we know what we know what we don't know, and then there's a whole bunch of things that we don't know what we don't know.
It's estimated that there's over 500,000 pieces of space junk floating 18,000 miles per hour.
That way we could sort of work on a flat plane.
The debris is usually created from a rocket launch or satellites crashing into each other.
Not sure the strange behavior of honey.
Astronauts that live in the International Space Station frequently need to take
this Earth is flat thing.
Like, I think most people think it's flat.
Flat thing. This Earth is flat thing.
And the single greatest achievement anyone has ever invented in the world ever.
This Earth is flat thing.
Things you had to go through.
Yeah. Movies usually are about endurance.
Instead, you've chosen to travel the country calling people like Jonathan Isaac and others, myself included, flat earthers.
What are they trying to figure out? And maybe there's something positive about them that can change me for the better. And if I were in conversation with that person, I hope I would say,
this Earth is flat thing.
Video, so let's
to do something.
What kind of borderline videos are we talking about here?
Right, so Google in their blog post this morning, they gave us 3 examples. There was one, they said videos that promise cures for fake cures for serious illnesses. The other was Flat Earth, which is a conspiracy theory that has taken on remarkably kind of reached pop culture level, where you have like NBA stars and rap stars dropping the fact that they believe in the flat Earth.
This is a fascinating one. This is a fascinating one. I mean, there are innumerable videos on YouTube about claiming that the Earth is flat.
So now they've invented this new category called borderline videos that are not removed. They don't violate the policies, but they promise they're going to try to remove them from recommendations.
To do something.
They promise they're going to try to remove them from recommendations.
Do you ever think in the United States that false information will be something where you strike it from the platform?
If we are just suddenly saying, like, we believe this to be true, I mean, look, like, is the Earth flat? Like, I think most people think it's flat. Like, I think most people think it's flat. I mean, think it's round, but there are people out there who think it's flat.
These online corners of the internet that start these conspiracy theories, and then it sort of seeps into the mainstream dialogue.
But I'm showing it here. When there are videos that are focused around something that's a conspiracy, next to the video, information from Wikipedia.
In terms of conspiracy theory content generally, our goal is to promote authoritative content to our users. So we have 2 principles that guide the way here. That's the first one, is we want to provide users with authoritative, trustworthy information.
I'm sorry to cut you up. I only have a minute and a half, and I don't really need to hear what you're trying to provide. I want to know how you're dealing with all these conspiracy theorists on your platform.
So the first way is by demoting low-quality content and promoting more authoritative content, and the second is by providing more transparency for users. So we're introducing boxes that provide factual information at the top of results that have shown themselves to turn up a lot of information that is counterfactual, such as searching for the Earth is flat on YouTube, where you see a lot of
Your response is to put a box saying, nope, the Earth is not flat.
Correct.
Okay.
Such as searching for the Earth is flat on YouTube, where you see a lot of...
Your response is to put a box saying flat.
Correct.
Okay.
Operation to embrace is that the Earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the Earth. There's no place to go.
Hello, it's me. You know, indoctrination started while we were still naive, programming our beliefs. And that inertia is the reason we don't feel the earth spinning. Hello, can you hear me? Did you ever stop to question the confession of gravity as a theory? Funny thing, force alone can be explained with buoyancy and density. The sun is closer And what they've told us, not 90 million miles away. Hello from the inside. I'm here to tell you not to lie. And there never was a space probe, and those planets you flew so wandering stars. Operation Fishbowl. There never was a South Pole. We're surrounded by walls of ice, and we clearly live inside of a glass door. Hello, how are you? Did you get a chance to join Flight Earth and Glow discussion group to discover all the truth? How the sun, the moon, the stars are all revolving around you. There's no more secret. The earth is stationary, it is fixed, unmovable. Hello from the brighter side. They fooled you with that CGI. Sending rockets into the sea, and they're faking alive. ISS speed. No matter how high you go, horizons rise to eye level. Greatest fiction, show you only your guidance support the geocentric desire of this
One thing I really want your generation to embrace is that the Earth is a closed system. Now, one thing I really want your generation to embrace is that the Earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the Earth. There's no place to go. There's no place to throw your trash. Closed system. Closed system. We cannot leave the Earth.
So why didn't I flinch? Because the laws of science differ fundamentally.
Always level.
Change your apartment. Change?
Yeah, change the world.
I guess our slogan is catching on now.
Yeah, change the world.
constant curvature.
Yes. Not meaningful just on a small scale, but it's meaningful on a large, on a worldwide scale. The responsibility, for instance, of Neil Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong, do you mean the first man to walk on the moon?
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Talk about a fish story. Man, and they're buying it.
أنا أول ما نقرأ نكتب، أنا نقعد في داري نقرأ كتب، نقرأ مش نقرأ في فيسبوك منا، ولو أني نقرأها معناها، ونقرأ زاد راهو القرآن مش من التزمت الديني، وقريت التوراة وقريت الأناجيل وقريت عدة حضارات. نأكد لك علميا ومنطقيا وفلسفيا وتاريخيا في الحضارة أن الأرض مسطحة وليست كما يعتقدون.
هي ما كان جات
الأرض ممتدة امتدادا كبيرا.
وين الآخر نتاعها؟
ليس لها آخرا. كما أسألك أين هو آخر السماوات؟
لا مش خلينا
في كروية الأرض. لا ما هي نهاية السماء؟
أنا هي السماء
ما يعرفوش.
لا يا معناتها الفوق
ما يعرفوش.
اي لانفيني معناتها.
دونك حتى الأرض تنجم تكون لانفيني في نفس القصد اللي أنت قلته. أنا ندافع على الفكرة لأنه معتقد فيها جزاما ولا أخجل.
لي لوا دو لا فيزيك كيفاش معمولين على
سي اوتر شوز. أنا نأكد لك مؤكد وتلك الحقيقة المطلقة أن الأرض عظيمة جدا وكلها سماوات طباقا فوقها.
كنت تاخذ طيارة ونقعد نمشي في الاثنين باش نوصل لنفس المكان.
لا ما توصلش إلى نفس المكان.
Now, children.
Children, listen to me. Look around you. All around you. As far as the eye can see, the Earth is flat.
The United States. And we now know that the world is flat, right?
And the world is flat.
Through this little hole here, the hatch is closed, where someone probably had training there. That would be the airlock where we would do U.S. spacewalks from.
Got it.
And then go into the U.S. laboratory module.
I noticed that node right there seems like the most space. It's most spacious. You can move around.
You know, in space though, we have a lot more hardware in here.
Got it.
Than we do in the in these mock-ups.
Tampa, about the bubbles in space coming up from the helmets. Yeah, you guys are in an underwater pool.
From space, and it's clearly flat round. The other question I would have for people that think the Earth is flat.
In love with the yarn, I'm tired of walking into refracted shards. Poor science displayed by disgusting bards. Soaked in sin with your dupe is delight for a new hand of cards. Been so long, seems like for love I'm just too hard, I said. Welcome to the show, where you don't know if it's part of the show. Welcome to the show. If you don't know, you don't know. Intoxicated 8 makes you believe you're spinning in space. Why you have no shame or grace. It's a disdainful state I used to contemplate how to save myself from my own self-hate. Wonder why I was even made with a dreadful fate. Forced to try and awake with a full plate. No one to help me stay awake or educate. I've had to liberate and fight through hidden gates. But my brother, heaven could never be late. And rockets don't work in space. It's all fake. The show is on Mars. It's a joke, but you're too far gone. It won't be long.
Theorist has finally followed the trail of flat Earth breadcrumbs. I believe the Earth is flat.
It did look flat out of my window.
Despite what big round Earth money and their anti-flat Earth agenda want you to believe.
On the surface, the Earth floats around. Moon landing was faked, or the argument that the Earth is flat and that scientists are covering it up. City of cold flat ground.
That stuff is flat. The world is flat.
Relax, take it easy.
Or flat. Or flat.
What? The Earth is flat.
The point of this, it's funded. It's funded by a certain group of people.
Guarantee.
What? The Earth is flat. What? The Earth is flat.
Shaq, what are you talking about?
The Earth is flat.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's
yes,
not.
It is.
Double guarantee that too.
There have been three great theories claiming the world is
A Mason?
What? The Earth is flat. The Earth is flat.
What?
The Earth is flat.
The more you see it, the more you read it, the more incredible it is, and the more you will. It's like a great, you could say, I mean, I don't like to use this analogy, but like a great movie, great, incredible movie.
I'm the hand of Mona Lisa's skirt. What's left in your life? You're 33 years old, you're worth all this money. You say you didn't say that you wanted to work. It's crazy what the top of the dome as the rock.
The more you look like a samurai, the better your chances of survival.
Million of them. Millions.
The simple basic physics of a vacuum in space is just doesn't work. For any scientist that actually just think about this, or physicists, it's all just the whole thing of vacuum in space is just not compatible with any kind of physics formula, physics that we can put to it. Where does the vacuum begin? The vacuum is one of the most powerful forces of nature. Where does that vacuum begin?
Again.
What you can't do in space, or in a vacuum, what you can't do in an infinite vacuum is you can't propel sound, you can't have explosions, fire, propulsion, jet engines, rockets, none of this stuff. Can't do that. There's nothing to propel against.
Earth is flat.
And then you start watching like SpaceX sending a rocket up into space, and a very well trained presenter that's got all the buzzwords, she knows all the lingo and all the buzzwords. And at one stage I was watching and she says, and the rocket is about to enter the vacuum of space. Really? And millions of people are watching this and they believe this, you see? They just, oh, the rocket just entered the vacuum of space. Where? How did, where? Please, fucking explain that to me. In scientific terms, not in BS terms. Oh, you won't understand. No, please try. I won't understand. Explain to me where that vacuum begins. And we start realizing that everything we're told about the moon, moon landing, space, is probably one of those big hoaxes.
When it starts and when it
ends, to swallow.
It all comes back.
We're going to have to start swallowing it sooner than later. The longer they string us along, the longer this is, the worse this is going to get. So, for those of you that still believe that we landed on the moon, I'm going to shatter that for you right now.
Earth is flat. People are round. It's all just sound. Move in rhythms, talk in rhymes, in circles of time. When it starts and when it ends, it all comes back again.
when it ends, it all comes back again.
You know, and when we first landed on Mars, I got so excited. I was just really excited about the Mars probe and all the pictures from Mars. Boy, it was like one of the happiest days of my life. So for me to come to terms and admit that this is probably a hoax is just really a tough pill to swallow.
How do you reach someone who is maybe a conspiracy theorist or someone who is anti-vaccines? Someone who is staunchly scientifically illiterate and agree with them on what a good source of facts is. Thank you.
So Daniel, how do I recommend reasoning with a conspiracy theorist? I'm right now, the last couple months, I've been messing around with this idea of cognitive dissonance. This is to say, you have a worldview, you're presented with evidence that conflicts with the worldview, so you either have to change your worldview, which is hard, because you've lived your whole life with it, or you just dismiss the evidence and dismiss the authorities that may have provided. So you dismiss the evidence. So that you don't have this discomfort, this conflict in your mind, this dissonance. That's what I'm working with right now. And apparently the way to overcome that is to say, we're all in this together. Let's learn about this together. Present the conspiracy theorist with the idea that he or she may be rejecting evidence because it's just so uncomfortable. And you're in it together. We're in it together. I'm uncomfortable too. But when it comes to moon landings, just ask the person how you would generate all that paperwork. The warehouse is full of documentation that NASA created to make landings on the moon would overwhelm anybody trying to do it on the side. It'd just be very difficult to print all that. And just understand it's a process. Somebody who has a worldview that's inconsistent with evidence, and I may have some, it takes a while for you to turn around. Like the example of palm reading or astrology, it's not something people reverse their ideas about immediately. It takes, in my experience, it takes about 2 years for somebody to sort of look at palm reading, look at cold reading or a tarot card reading for a while, and then realize that these tarot card readers, palm readers, are just taking information that you've given them, the client's given them, and feeding it back to you. It takes a long time. In the same way, people who are anti-vaccine, I think, have just lost sight of the history. Vaccines, you know, part of the reason I'm able to be here talking with you is my grandparents did not die in 1918 during the Spanish flu, when it is estimated 50 million people died. Twice as many people as were killed in combat in World War I died of this disease. If you go to old cemeteries, you can see these tombstones of very young people died of the flu. So people have just lost sight of history, and we all tend to go, well, look at the facts.
Look at the facts.
Now, if you put a hot dog in a flashlight, nothing happened.
No way.
And they just start making stuff up. Yeah. Like that Neil Armstrong guy. Have you seen him on the talk shows?
Neil Armstrong, you mean the first man to walk on the moon?
Talk about a fish story.
Yeah.
Something like this.
Our ideal of vision.
The world is flat because the world is flat.
Forget it. Forget it.
Help us make this place a better place. So that's the
nuts of it right there. So.
Man, come on.
All kidding aside, when this goes national, I get to put it on my resume?
Actually, no.
because, like, what is it, a guilt thing or something? I mean,
You can never tell anyone you did this.
what could they do to me?
This world, who knows what shit will be peddled for truth on this network?
Whoa, whoa. Hey there, tough guy. You know, what are you doing? Whoa, whoa.
Pear-shaped. Yeah.
You're going to have our... I go away, I'm going to disappear, Tony. You'll never see me again.
Since leaving and re-entering the dome is an ordeal involving strict security.
It's not. It makes sense. It's flat. There's a big wall of ice around it.
Ricky, it's flat with
It's a dome. It's a dome. Actors. Astronauts.
Leave it as flat Earth.
You know what? Everybody believes what everyone believes.
Placing that image in flatland. And as the apple were to descend through, slither by flatland, we would generate a four-dimensional hypercube, which is also called a tesseract. I cannot show you a tesseract because I and you are trapped in 3 dimensions. And entirely flat in every direction, but with one exception. Unbeknownst to the inhabitants, their 2-dimensional universe is curved into a 3rd physical dimension. Maybe into a sphere, but at any rate, into something entirely outside their experience. This think may actually apply to us. We are 3-dimensional creatures trapped in 3 dimensions. We imagine our universe to be flat in 3 dimensions, but maybe it's curved into a 4th. We can talk about a 4th physical dimension, but we can't experience it. No one can point to the 4th dimension. I mean, there's left, right, and there's forward, back, there's up, down, and there's some other directions simultaneously at right angles to those familiar 3 dimensions.
Got done growing some lettuce, and our Russians were growing onions, so it's an extremely lively environment up here right now. Lots going on.
Well, thank you very much. I know you've got limited time. You've got lots to do up there, but let me ask you one last question. What's the lots to do up there? But let me ask you lots to do up there. But let me ask you lots to do up there. But let me ask you lots to do up there. But let me ask you lots to do up there. But let me ask you.
I've been working. You've been sleeping. That the Earth is actually flat. So deceived by the Illuminati that the Earth is actually flat. That the Earth is really flat.
Over the flats, the Jesus I used to know.
They can't do it. It can't. It doesn't exist. It literally doesn't exist. It's all fraud. It's all fake. Pretty much everything NASA puts out is fraudulent.
Example, it's flat, meaning it's at just the right ground.
They said the world is flat.
Who plays for the Cavaliers? He recently said that he believes the world is flat. Flat Earth theory.
Earth was flat. If you went too far, you would fall off.
That Kansas is, in fact, literally flatter than a pancake. If the Earth was not a ball shape, but was instead a flat disc, like this plate, flat, and science has been wrong all along. It's a misfact. Flat earther believed that the Earth was actually flat, and he enforced flat Earth teachings in schools in Zion. He also enforced that belief on really anyone who entered the city. V'lava believed not only that the Earth was flat, but that the sun was only a few thousand miles away from Earth, not 93 million.
No longer on the ball.
Someone just said the Earth is flat? Wow.
I don't follow everybody when it's time to rap. At one time, everybody thought the world was flat.
Unless the world is flat. You say the world is flat.
2, 1, and launch. Here you go.
So this world is round story is 100% bullshit. It's total fiction. Yet how did our grandparents learn this? We learned this. Our grandchildren are probably going to learn this. How
if you retire, you don't have anything to worry about. Third time you said that. I'll probably say it 3 more times.
This takes us into the next generation.
So when Truman dies, we go back to the single channel format, right?
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
Soylent Green is made out of people.
Some people say you can't go back, but sure you can.
Breakthroughs available to those who can remove one of truth's protective layers. There are places to go beyond belief. Those challenges are yours.
You're copies of people out here in the world.
Tubes, some sheep over here.
Shall we play a game?
Longer on the ball. I just had to let it go.
If I say that the world is round and someone else says it's flat, that's worth reporting.
Above it all, and that's that. Unless the word is flat, unless the word is flat, unless the word is flat.
Okay, all right. You think so?
Well, I don't know. You may have a higher standard than I'm used to around here. There's the rotunda.
It's amazing. It's stirring. It's.
You mean the dome?
Have a cold awakening.
Sure, you don't. Sure,
when she
yeah.
gets something.
Simple. Where did you get the camera, and where did you get the film, and how did you know what to do? And
Well, I can't really say where we got some of it, but
Ice water, or regular water, or tap water.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you will, look right here. Okay, you know how you're on an airplane and the flight attendant asks you to turn your cell phone off?
They sent us home to watch the show.
Flip, 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 flops, flop, flop, flip, flop, flip, flop, 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 flops. Summer Olympics.
Due to the Writers Guild of America strike, tonight's Late Night with David Letterman will be a rebroadcast of a previously aired program.
It's evil! Don't touch it!
Sherry, I'm glad you're speaking up because I agree with you. I watched the show where you said to Whoopi, you didn't know that the Earth was round.
Right.
And I agree with you. I was in school.
That's a very long time ago. We got her a globe since then.
No, but I gotta tell you, I went for a walk the other day on the beach, and it does appear that the world is flat. I'm telling you. I'm saying to myself, she's right. She's right, Whoopi. I mean, really. Everyone acts like they know. Everyone acts like they know better.
Yes.
You've been. That's right.
Yep, Dad. But
how can you say that this world ain't flat? By Jupiter, you don't get no stupider, you don't get no stupider than that.
And all it can do is rip. I lose sleep over that possibility. We started with the Big Bang, we may just end with the Big Rip. I gotta ask, what's the scariest fact I know? It's that in 22 billion years, there's a chance that the accelerated expansion of the universe will become so severe that it will separate stars from galaxies as they move beyond our visual horizon and continue at this, ending up separating atoms from their molecules and then particles from their atoms and then the very fabric of space and time itself. It's that in 22 billion years, there's a chance.
Vacuum of the moon.
We're up in this area.
There you go. Watch that cable. Cable.
Oh.
Cable.
Watch the cable. Cable number one. You know, they're all fixed, Lee. They'll break the whole world before they'll break the cable this time. You know, they're all fixed.
It's all over. Orange. Don't move it till I see it. I've stirred it up with my feet. Hey, it is. I can see it from here. It's orange.
That's
the volcanic mist.
Somebody unplugged silver.
That's the volcanic mist.
Of the planet Earth.
99, proceeded, 3, 2, 1, ignition. Right away, Houston. Vector good. Ag thought. Hey, this is great. Talk about being a spaceman. This is it.
December 17th, 170,000 miles from Earth. Ron Evans left the command module.
Hello, Mom.
We see you, Ron. Looking great.
Okay. Hey, John. How you doing? Hi, Jamie.
This closes a golden chapter in the age of space exploration. In a way, it brings a close to what has been a very romantic era in space exploration. But, and I want to make this very strong, the book is still being written. And I want to make this very strong, the book is still being written.
And I want to make this very strong, the book is still being written.
Mark, a signature attesting a legacy to future generations. We stood on the shoulders of giants and touched the moon.
You know, they're all fake.
That's the volcanic mist.
And I want to make this very strong, the book is still being written.
Oh, you can't do that.
It's all over. Orange. I've stirred it up with my feet. Hey, it is. I can see it from here. It's orange. 99, proceeded, 3, 2, 1, ignition. Right away, Houston. Vector good. Ag thought.
So tell
What's cracking, YouTube?
Is the Earth flat?
You went on a podcast and you said the Earth, you believe the Earth was flat. But
on that podcast, I was just really like, man, what's going on within our world? And just a whole bunch of truth and conspiracy. I was just like, whoa, this is too much for me. And then I come out and say that, and then, whoo.
The entire Cuban Missile Crisis was staged by Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
Due to a navigational error, Neil Armstrong actually landed in Wilmington, Delaware.
Now, how does Jeff Bezos top this? What can he do?
To your papa. That's what's going on. Having a good day as always, and as I always say,
That stuff is flat. That stuff is flat. That stuff is flat.
If you believe it.
Well, I think the thing I remember most, Horizon, is the impressive memory that I carry now because I refer back to it so many times.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.